Hey, everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that is yet to be named. I'm here with Caps. He's down there somewhere, or there, or there. And I'm here with Putty. I'm here with JD, who's like one of these, I guess. And I don't know how he always knows where the right way to point. I always get it wrong somehow. Yeah, see? I don't get it. But anyways, we're talking best trilogies. So we kind of loosened the rules because apparently to everybody in the internet, a trilogy is any movies that's just 3 movies, even if there's another 3 movies that came after it or 3 movies that came before it, which doesn't make any sense to me. So, well, we kind of loosened the rules, but none of us seem to do that anyway. So we're just gonna open it up here. Best...
I'm sure we're gonna argue anyway, but
we will. Yes. Favorite trilogies. Caps, you can go first.
Oh, okay, cool. Number 5. The Bourne trilogy, minus the 4th one,
and the 5th,
and the Dollars trilogy.
He did not follow the rules.
I know.
Like, what was the other one? Sorry,
Dollars trilogy. Fistful of Dollars.
Oh, yeah,
$2 more. Good, the bad, the ugly.
It's the Man with No Name trilogy. Nice try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Putty.
Where we at? Is it me? I got some warning. Okay.
I'm not on the right list again. Okay, go.
All right. My number 5, I don't like the 3rd movie, but I'm just putting it on this list because of just putting it on there, and that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 90s, that trilogy right there.
That counts.
Yeah.
That counts. Universe, I'd take it. Mm-hmm. Some people would argue that the TMNT animated film is part of that universe, though.
It kind of is, but I mean, it's animated, so I feel like it kind of takes itself out of that, if that makes sense. Okay. It's like Clone Wars. Would you consider Clone Wars part of the saga?
No, but it's canon and it's a movie.
It's canon, but you get what I'm saying, though. It's not. Yeah,
I don't count it as the 4th movie of those. I mean, the 3rd movie. The 3rd movie. But yeah. So, JD,
mine is actually Caps with the Mighty Ducks and the Naked Gun.
Oh, I forgot the Naked Gun. It's not even I'm mentioned. I forgot about the Naked Gun.
I'm clapping for you because that's a good choice. I feel like I did not look hard enough to find this because I knew what my top 3 were going to be. I mean, my top 4. So I was just trying to find a 5th one, which I did find, which is the Cornetto trilogy, which is not really a trilogy, but they count it as one, and I'm counting it as one, which is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean,
and Pirates of the Caribbean, the first 3.
I saw the
including the 4th.
The trilogy list even had like Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy.
Well, that's the Jersey trilogy, but then they added Clerks too, so that doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Cornetto trilogy, I'm counting, and we're not talking about anything else except the list. Nick,
number 4, Back to the Future.
Okay, number 4 for me, Austin Powers.
My number 4 is the Man with No Name trilogy.
Nice. My number 4 is Back to the Future.
My number 3 is the original Star Wars trilogy.
Counted.
So you found your list.
Well, it's okay though, but we loosened the rules for this.
I know. So I actually made a separate list with Star Wars on there, but you know what? That's fine. Everyone knows.
No, you committed to not putting it on it, so that's
Chris Jericho would say. You just made the list.
I know. It's just, you know me. I want to put that on top of my list. You know I would, but I didn't. So, okay. Anyway.
Oh, if it were a trilogy, I'd put it at the top of mine too. But
yeah. All right. So, my number 3 then, right?
Yeah.
My number 3 is the Hangover trilogy. Bam.
I'm totally upset with that one after the first 2 you had. Oh man. The second one is like one of the worst comedy movies ever made.
I still love it. I mean, okay,
I'm allowing it.
Well, my number 3 is Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Yeah,
that's my number 1.
The Evil Dead trilogy.
Yep.
That's a good choice. I don't have that on my list. I wish I did. I mean, I wish Scream was a trilogy. Okay, my number 3 is the Man with No Name trilogy.
All right. My number 2 is the Dark Knight trilogy and Lord of the Rings.
This guy, I don't have it on my list. It's just not tied at number 2. You said you don't have Lord of the Rings.
I never said that.
Yeah, you did. I swear you did.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm the one who said I don't have Lord of the Rings.
I don't care. I don't like you.
Thank you.
Not you, him.
Okay.
Nobody
Okay.
likes me.
Number 2. Okay, my number 2 is Back to the Future.
My number 2 is Back to the Future.
My number 2 is the Dark Knight trilogy.
My number 1 is the Godfather trilogy.
My number 1 is the Dark Knight trilogy.
Whereas my number 1 is also the Godfather trilogy.
Whereas my number 1 is the right number 1 is the Godfather trilogy. That got really greasy and an Italian in like 2 seconds.
Yes.
But yeah.
Just out of curiosity, did you guys see the coda, the alternate version of
the alternate version of Godfather 3? I haven't gotten around to that yet. I want to watch it so bad.
What happened was I rushed to buy it. I pre-ordered it months in advance, and then I never even unwrapped it yet. And I honestly have no interest in watching it. But I mean,
I think you should.
I don't know. I heard a lot of mixed things in the fact that it does change stuff, but it doesn't really do anything for the movie. Do you think it made it better?
It makes it a bit smoother.
Yeah. Okay. I'll watch it eventually.
It tells the story a lot better than the original. The original was like
I heard it takes a lot of Sophia Coppola out of it too.
I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but I just
no. I basically read what it was about.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah, they did. Okay, somebody.
That's still in there.
Caps, read your list.
Oh, sorry. I'll have to pull it up again. So, trilogies number 5, the Dollars trilogy. I know you guys have another name for it. Bourne trilogy. So that's my number 5. Number 4, Back to the Future. Number 3, original Star Wars. Number 2, Dark Knight / Lord of the Rings, and number 1, Godfather trilogy.
Oh yeah, my number 5 is TMNT, the 90s. 4, Austin Powers. 3, The Hangover. 2, Back to the Future, and 1, Dark Knight.
Number 5 is Mighty Ducks and Naked Gun. Number 4 is the Man with No Name trilogy. The number 3 is the Evil Dead trilogy. Number 2 is Back to the Future, and number 1 is The Godfather.
The Naked Gun trilogy would have literally made my list too. I hate that I forgot.
I hate that you interrupted my list. The Cornetto trilogy, number 5, Back to the Future, number 4, The Man with No Name, number 3, The Dark Knight, number 2, The Godfather, number 1. If you just came for the list, that's the list. Here we open the floor to talk. And I remember, by the way, we were talking about something earlier about a funny thing that happened. It was that on the superheroes list, me and you had the exact same list.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yes.
Okay, I just had to get that out of the way because it was going to kill me. I would have ended up forgetting again. So, I mean, my number 1 honorable mention, okay, is the Before trilogy, which is Before Sunset, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. Really good.
Ethan Hawke one, right?
Yeah, really good movie. Each one was filmed I think 10 years apart from each other or something like that. About a couple, they meet and then they're middle of their marriage and then they're old now. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I don't know. A lot of people haven't seen it. Anybody else have their number 1?
My number 1, I'll go with mine. Mine was the Hannibal Lecter, Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs, and Red Dragon.
I really wanted to put that as even on my list, but I don't like Hannibal. I really like Red Dragon, and
Ralph Fiennes is like phenomenal in that film. Just don't watch Manhunter with the guy from CSI.
That's not bad.
Anybody? Bueller?
Well, I've got a lot of mentions, but like I said,
what would be your number 1?
It was Star Wars, of course. Star Wars and tied with the Spider-Man MCU. The Spider-Man MCU was originally on the list, but I decided just to drop it off there just because, I don't know, it's again, it is a trilogy, but they're making more, and at the same time, they brought the Raimi and the Amazing into it, so that kind of brought them into that world too, in some ways. So that's the reason why.
Does the Raimi Spider-Man films count as a trilogy, or now is there 4 of them because spoilers?
No, it's a trilogy.
Let me see spoilers. Right?
Listen, by the time this video comes out, the Matrix 5
Spider-Man will be on home video.
It'll be Spider-Man 4. It was great. Actually, Spider-Man was originally on my list, and then when I was like trying to finish it off, I was like, but they're gonna make more movies, so I can't count it.
Andrew
So
Garfield
I
and
took it
Amazing
off.
Spider-Man 3 was great.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets
right.
Venom, Tom Hardy Venom.
Oh, I guess that now you can kind of count that. Spoiler alert. You know what I mean?
No, we can't. JD, or not JD, Caps. Do you have an honorable mention?
How many Mad Maxes were there? I
Four.
don't remember. Is there 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 with Mel Gibson. I was gonna say Bruce
and then
Willis.
Fury Road.
There's 3 with Mel Gibson. So if you want to count that, I'll allow it.
Yeah, I would say
I don't
wouldn't that
remember the
count
third
then?
one, though.
Because
That's
The
what
third
Tina
one is-
Turner.
Yeah, Tina
Beyond
Turner,
Thunderdome.
there was there was Road Warrior.
We don't need another hero.
Yeah.
Don't sing ever.
You don't remember
There's
the big dome they had? Oh my god.
Master Blaster.
Master Blaster. That's the best part. Okay, so Naked Gun was my next choice. Naked Gun was so close to being on my list.
Man, I
Naked
didn't
Gun
think
is
about
one of
that.
the most perfect trilogies there is.
Yes, and would have taken over
Yeah.
Hangover for sure. Like Naked Gun is amazing, and I totally.
It would have taken over Hangover. Hangover was your number 3. You would have knocked your number 3 off to put Naked Gun in.
That's
I
how
would
good
still-
the Naked Gun trilogy
yeah,
is.
that's
See?
what I'm saying. Yeah, like I mean, I like Austin. I put the Hangover because the Hangover and Austin Powers, and I couldn't decide between those two. The only reason the Turtles got 5 was because of number 3. It was still going to stay number 5 even with Naked Gun, just because 3 was such a horrible movie, and 2 I could deal with, and 1 just amazing. So
What are we talking about?
Well, no, the reason why Ninja Turtles would still stay on my list, but still stay at 5, and why Naked
Yeah,
Gun
but I'm
should be on the
saying
list
you
no
would
matter what.
remove your 3rd spot instead of knocking the 5th or 4th one off.
No, yeah, because I actually like Naked Gun better than
So
Austin
how did
Powers
it
for
get-
sure.
I'm so confused.
He just forgot about those films.
I know,
Yeah.
but listen, if I was gonna put a movie on my list, I wouldn't remove The Godfather to put it on the list.
No,
I would
no,
remove
but
the
what you're
last
not getting,
place
I
movie.
get what you're saying, John. The reason I would remove Hangover is when I was making the list, I couldn't decide whether to put a Hangover at number 3 or Austin Powers at number 3.
Okay,
You
I
get
get
what
what
I'm
you're
saying?
saying.
Yeah, so I
This is my
wouldn't
thing with
do-
Hangover. I like the first one. Like Talladega Nights, though. It's one of those movies that it took me like 17 watches, which I'm weird with comedies. Yes, I watch them a lot.
Yeah.
It took me like a lot of watches before I finally realized what everyone thought was funny about it. I really had to
I'm
catch
still
the
not there.
nuance, and that's fine. The second one is so bad I can't watch it. The third one I think is so underrated. I don't know why people don't like the third one.
Wait, which one?
Hangover 3.
Oh yeah.
Hangover 3 is really well made. It's
agree.
like it's so much better than the second one, but I feel like everyone got put off by the second one, so they just didn't watch the third one.
And see, I wasn't so bad about the second one. And of course, I love the third one. And see, the thing is, that's kind of like the whole situation with Austin Powers as well. You know what I mean?
I like all the Austin Powers.
Yeah, I do
movies.
too. But that's what I'm saying. There's you could tell that between Goldmember and the other two that there was, it wasn't the best of the 3, but it was still amazing. But that's kind of how I felt about Hangover. Even though people were saying they didn't like it, I felt the same way about that. And then, like I said, again, when it comes to those 3 all in general, they have at least one bad movie.
Yeah.
Prime example, Back to the Future. Back to the Future 3 for me is what Dark Knight's Batman Begins is. It's such a good movie in my eyes, but it's not as good as the other 2. Does that make sense?
Okay, I was about to say if somebody says Back to the Future 3 is bad, I will kick them in the
No, I
nuts.
wasn't gonna say it was
No.
good bad, but compared to the other 2,
Back to the
it's not-
Future 3 is so much fun. Anyways,
oh, I agree.
I'll take 3 over 2 any day.
I would too.
Really?
I think
actually
2
like
is a
2
better movie, but I would
It's-
rather watch
they're all
3.
good in my eyes. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
They're
we're
all
not saying
good.
that,
I just
yeah.
think 3 it's like you said, the fun, like the fact that it's a Western. You don't see that many Westerns anymore. It
The
was
second movie kind of loses the fun that the first movie had. The second one gets like really serious and dark with like that storyline that's happening.
yeah.
I think
could be
they had to
true, yeah.
make changes for the second one just for the fact that the father wasn't in it, or they had to make
Yeah, they
Crispin
had
Glover.
to.
rush through
And
it.
Crispin Glover was really mad about that too.
Yeah.
And they did it so that they wouldn't have to pay him. They didn't want to, because by that time he was getting bigger and he wanted more money and they didn't want to pay him. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't pay for his
Crispin
movie.
Glover.
Still feuding to this day.
Yeah.
Willard.
Willard's a pretty cool movie.
It is.
I'm going
Correct.
to add the Wayne's World trilogy to my list. In my world, so I
Whoa,
married an
whoa.
axe murderer
There's a
is
third one?
when when I married an
I
axe
was gonna
murderer
say.
is when Wayne
Okay.
has gotten older and he's become a slam poetry
Wait.
guy. Whoa,
I-
man. Whoa, man.
You just
Classic
remind me of one I
movies.
actually forgot to add, and I actually liked the third one. I think a lot of people didn't like it, and that would be the Bill and Ted's trilogy. I actually
I like
third
all
one.
of them, but I wouldn't be on my list.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying it's
totally
honorable
forgot
To
that
me,
there was a
even though I
third Bill
like
and
the
Ted's
third
movie.
even like the,
I
yeah, see what I
actually-
mean? Even though I like the third one, to me, I don't even think of them as 3 movies.
It's always the 2 for me. Like
And
I just
I've said this before. I had like horrifying nightmares for years after someone who once locked us in a basement and made us watch Predator made us watch the second one, and the part with the dream sequence like absolutely fucking destroyed me with the rabbit that's chasing him around.
But I actually saw the third one.
Easter basket.
The third one came out around
grandmother.
COVID. Yeah, right. The third one came out around COVID.
Kinda
And I
looks so
actually
cute, buddy.
like bought it and like, oh my god. See, you got me all crap.
Okay, shut up and talk, buddy.
But I saw, I knew it wasn't gonna be as good as 1 and 2. I was excited about it, but after I watched it, I had actually watched the first 2 movies prior to seeing 3 when it actually got like it came out that midnight for you to buy pre-order, and you can actually watch it that day because of COVID. So I was excited, and so when I watched it, you could tell their age, but I love their spirit that they're going the same like mentality of the old ones. So when you rewatch 1, 2, and then watch 3. It actually was real still enjoyable to me because 1 and 2, if you go back and look at them, they're not really the best movies. We're just clouded by how fun we had.
Okay.
For me, it's nostalgia. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
and that's why
It's
3 fit
pretty
for me, though.
decent for what it is. Part 2 is hilarious, but it's not as good of a movie. The second one is way funnier. It's just death is hilarious. Best 7 out of 11.
They might have been
Bullshit.
Yeah. Station is the best.
No, it's so funny. I was looking up. I was like looking up different lists and looking at different movies, and I have no idea why, but each list had Die Hard on there, and I don't know.
Yeah,
if they
every
like
list.
7 of them.
realize that there's a
What was the one that
fourth
I
and
said?
fifth.
Every single list for me had the exact same number 1. And oh no, that was for the racing movie. It was Bullet.
Yeah.
Every single
Yeah.
one, and it's not even a racing movie.
Racing movie.
It's
No.
a cop. It's a police movie.
Well,
like,
that's like, for example, here's a prime example. Like when we were talking about the list, I wrote these down because they kept on saying trilogies, and I was like, some of these are not good trilogies, and some of these shouldn't even be trilogies. Like we said, Mad Max, Alien, the Evil Dead's on my list, but that doesn't count. But the Matrix, yeah, Toy Story, Lord of the Rings. I'm like, do they not realize Toy Story has a part 4? Like, I don't understand where you guys' mentality of trilogies are right now.
yeah,
Just
like
because
I
they
told
made
you.
3 movies.
Wait, did you say Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
6
listen,
movies, if you count The Hobbit.
No,
It's-
those are
it's-
separate.
No, it's
Well, I don't know.
not.
I've never seen The Hobbit.
It's
so
still the
in my
same.
world-
For me, it's still the same universe, and it continues a cohesive
Listen,
story.
this is where I got to get into this. There's a difference between connected universe like Marvel, where there's individual stories. This story directly follows into or leads into and explains the story that right before the Lord of the Rings. It has the same characters. It has the
Gollum.
same writer, the same director.
Bilbo,
it's the same writer of
Gandalf.
the book. It's the same producers. It's literally 6 movies to me. I
See
mean,
your argument.
but I it's fine.
He does feel as though he did make a mistake making the
Which-
Hobbit movies because
it
of the
should have
fact
been
that
2. He would have
Yeah.
been fine with
He
2.
stretched it out too long.
And
Yes.
the musical scene fucking ruined the first movie.
And John, you said it right there. That right there. If you even used, okay, well then they have these characters. That would also debunk Star Wars being a trilogy now as well. Because think about it, Harrison
Star Wars
Ford
has 12
played-
films.
Yeah, exactly. And when you think about it, and they're like, well, the original prequels didn't have the original actors. Okay, fine then. Go look at the Disney ones. Do you really want to count those? And those had Harrison Ford as Han Solo. It had
Okay,
Luke Skywalker,
let's
it had all those.
take it
Right?
easy
Garbage.
here.
The
Regardless of what you,
the last 3 were garbage.
whatever you think of The Last Jedi is perfectly fine with me. But
The last 3 were not great.
the first movie is better than any of the prequels by a long shot. It's not
Force
even
Awakens,
close.
yeah.
Force Awakens, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
And I so want to play Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker.
Yeah.
I know, I do too now. Once I was like, okay, I really want to play this.
It's
now.
all 9 movies, right? In Lego
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
I-
I'm
I-
excited so badly.
No, I still think
I
Revenge
think
of the
Rogue
Sith-
One is one of the best Star Wars films ever made.
What?
That
Rogue One is
I
amazing.
agree with. I love Rogue One, but
Mm-hmm.
I still take Revenge of the Sith over the last 3.
Okay,
Sorry.
but
Sorry.
Really?
this is my
Yeah,
thing
Force
to you.
Awakens,
It's my same
I'm
knock.
convinced
I think that Revenge of the Sith is good. I think Revenge of the Sith is good.
It's not a
Okay.
bad movie.
But
No.
if you when
It's
it's
the
the
best
same
out of
argument
those
I make
3.
about Episode 1. If you remove out the lightsaber battle at the end of Phantom Menace, there's
Oh, yeah,
nothing
it'd be
in that
bad.
movie that's worth watching.
No.
People will say the pod race, but good for you. It's 2.5 hours. You like the pod race? Fantastic.
No.
The
No, I
story
enjoy it.
I don't
doesn't
wanna-
get good until the
I-
end of the Sith.
I don't want to turn this thing into a Star Wars thing, but just like what we did with the Matrix in a couple episodes ago, when I look back now and I look at it as a piece of 3 movies together, I'm not a fan. I don't like them. It just tells a story. It just
It was lazy writing.
Yeah, but so was the prequels.
I feel as though there's I don't want to open up a.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The prequels was lazy writing.
It feels like they had an agenda, and that was to rid of a lot of the older characters and make them look stupid. And I just have a problem with that, because when I look at Star Wars to me is a generational film, a film that you can watch with your grandfathers, with your father, with your son, that's how I look at the original 4, 5, and 6. All right. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, let me jump here. There's one thing I've noticed, and this is like, especially when you're seeing online how people react. And I use a reference point of Saturday Night Live as a reference point to this. So I know I'm using it, it's weird, but understand. Every generation will say, oh, the generation that Will Smith was in is the best because they grew up with it. You know what I mean? The generation that watched Adam Sandler, that was the best. No, the
Will Smith
original.
was not the best,
He means Eddie Murphy.
What did I say?
Will Smith.
Did I actually say Will Smith?
Yeah.
No.
Pretty racist.
No, I meant Will Ferrell the first time. Will Ferrell, and then
aren't they the same? Oh no, they're not. You're right.
Yeah. Anyway, my point was that the generations always they say that there's like, oh, mine was better when Andy Samberg was on there, that kind of thing.
I miss Joe Piscopo.
It's about being there. Yeah.
I miss Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy.
If there's anybody who ever says that, yeah. Anyway, my point to the whole thing is I feel Star Wars falls under that as well. That there's a lot of, if the generation gets the movie, because there's a lot of kids that watch.
No, but I think that happens a lot. Period. I think what you're saying, yes, I agree. But I think that happens a lot. Period, in movies where people hold on to nostalgia for really bad movies and just have decided now that they're good in their head because they really like it, which is fine. You're allowed to like whatever you want. But you shouldn't tell people that bad movies are good just because you like them. And like, you have to know like what's your favorite and what's the best, or what you think is the best, is 2 different categories.
And that's why these lists are our personal favorites.
Yes, and that's the whole thing about these lists, and that's fine. We're not arguing about each other's lists. Our lists are fine. And I just think when it comes to Star Wars,
unless it's Matrix Resolutions, right?
But that wasn't on the list. The third Matrix movie is absolute dog shit, which is Matrix Revolutions. So,
but let's get back onto the topic at hand. How about the Mariachi trilogy? El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a trilogy.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
I just had to get that one off my chest.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made my
Robert
list,
Rodriguez.
but it's on my honorable mentions. That's good. I have Evil Dead. I have Austin Powers. I have Blade.
Blade I have too.
Yeah.
I have Internal Affairs.
That's good. That's good.
I can't believe I forgot about
the Mariachi.
Jeez. I got to redo my list.
We're not going to allow it.
What is this? The manager's list? Are we going to re-record?
Yeah, I was going to say. Remember?
Guys, hold on. I forgot to press record.
Oh, did that again?
How do you actually bug?
Are we trying to be correct? By the way, thanks a lot, Cap. Thanks a lot for making me crack there, brother. I appreciate that.
Did he get some views?
Yeah.
Who, me? Yeah, I did actually quite a bit.
We're not here to talk about views, okay?
No.
Let's keep it on track here before we start talking about Star Wars again. I don't want to get back to the Star Wars rant, but so let's keep this going. It's really weird. I found that just in general, people just believe what they want when it comes to things. It's like how many movies are in a trilogy. But
let me ask something then. What about the X-Men, X2, and
I saw
X3?
that too.
I can't count that because then Bryan Singer came back and continued the universe, even though
because they wanted to reboot it, but then they just
you could count Wolverine as its own trilogy.
Oh,
true.
Which is never a good movie and a really good movie, and then
Origins right there ruined it for me. Like, it's funny how this one of the best X movie ever.
I mean,
was the last.
I was really close to having Captain America. But I hate the first Captain America with such a passion that I couldn't do it.
That one is really boring, I find.
It has some of the worst acting ever in the MCU. I don't know why people like it. Putty likes it.
I love it.
How many Iron Man films were there? Three?
That was a good trilogy. I don't think it's good enough to make my list or even probably my honorable mentions, but
Cap
first Iron Man is amazing.
I would have put Captain America.
As of right now, there's three Thor films too, but that wouldn't make my list because the first two were.
Yeah, well, we know the fourth one is coming out this year. Coming too, yeah. I'm not gonna do that.
Because hey, we could say Doctor Strange movies, even though they haven't come out yet, they're eventually gonna be a trilogy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Benedict Cumberbatch is gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, they're probably gonna kill him off in the third one if we're gonna be honest.
Sandwich.
Yeah, they seem like they're keen on slowly building up the new generation and getting rid of all the other people.
Yeah, but I thought Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange was going to be kind of like the leader now for the new generation until they.
I think it's going to be Bruce Banner, and I'm sticking with that.
I see Doctor Strange as becoming the new leader of the Avengers.
Sticking with Bruce Banner.
Yes.
He's there since the beginning. He's the smartest person in the group, and he's also the strongest person in the group.
Well, Doctor Strange is pretty smart too. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but he's smart because he's a doctor. Like Bruce Banner is like an all-knowing
he's a doctor,
scientist. Yeah. I know,
he's
but
a doctor too.
This is the thing. He knows about the stuff that they need, how to like wormholes and like space stuff. He knows that. Doctor Strange knows how to do brain surgery.
Yeah, so it's like, but I love how you were like,
Hank Pym is dead.
No, Doctor Strange is the doctor.
No, he's going to be in Hulkamania.
He's dead.
Hulkamania.
Isn't that what it's called? Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hulkamania.
Yeah, Hulkamania. Hank Pym is like 100 years old. So
at the end, we see Hulk Hogan come out like, "Brother, I'm the one in this multiverse."
Gonna rip the shirt.
That's fucked.
It's those quantum bursts.
Watch
He's
that.
Like, oh my Quantumaniacs.
Quantumaniacs. Yeah, I'd buy that shirt.
He's gonna redo the scene from Gremlins 2. They want hot popcorn and cold soda.
Nice. And yeah, it's gonna be they're gonna have the guy. Who's the guy who plays the guy in Gremlins?
Who's the guy that plays the guy in Gremlins?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know the actor's name. The main guy.
Bring back Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, whatever his name. I don't know his name. No,
yeah, Phoebe Cates. But like transport her back to the 80s and then bring her back.
The kid that looks like he's from the 80s and made the 80s and probably still looks like he's from the 80s. So there you go.
Made the 80s.
He made the 80s. He created them.
He made them in a lab. Anyways, I don't have anything else. Anyone got any more?
Nah, nope. You guys named everything else that was trilogy based.
Yeah, I think
including stuff that was non-trilogy based.
Yeah, exactly.
Cap said, okay, I will accept every single one that Cap said. The boring ones, there's 5 movies.
I know. I mean, I don't think the last one got a lot of attention anyway.
It's like, not good.
No, and there was the one with Jeremy Renner too.
Which is okay.
Which was okay.
It wasn't the right choice to switch people. And that's why I would have counted it 100. Well, I'm still going to count it. But if it was the Jeremy Renner one was 4th, and there was no 5th one, it makes more sense because like they changed people, right?
Like, my
favorite one are the first 3 James Bond movies. Is the greatest trilogy. But yeah. Anyways, okay.
We can all agree that The Godfather is the best trilogy.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Putty's never even seen them.
That's right. It doesn't matter what Putty says.
Wow.
All right. Let's admit it. By the time it's 3 movies, Sonic will be number 1.
Yes.
Oh, no. Actually, Sonic will not beat Dark Knight. It will not. Dark Knight was just too good.
Yeah, Dark Knight is. I have it on my second because when I thought about it, like, how can I not have The Godfather at number 1? But like, realistically, the Dark Knight trilogy is fantastic.
What about Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and Mortal Kombat 2021?
No, those don't go in the same world with each other. And I actually like Mortal Kombat 2021, but yeah, Annihilation is like Origins to me. Like
Mortal Kombat 2021 is a fun time for what it is, and they nailed the lore and Easter eggs of the movie. They nailed it. Yeah. But they just put together such a terrible product and had so many non-actors in the movie. I was like,
but I'm gonna say this:
all stunt people. There was nobody.
That's my point. That's my point.
Nostalgia.
I was kind of like, when I watched it, I was like, I don't care if there's no plot point. Give me fatalities like the old movies didn't do. Don't give us some kind of not CGI claymation dragon bullshit, kami fighting battle at the end.
You really
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah,
no Destructo disc.
I liked. Oh yeah. My point is, I liked Mortal Kombat 2021 for what it was. It's not the best in the world, but compared to what it came from, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, you know
Listen,
what I mean?
this is my thing though. If they make the next one and they take what they did good about the first one and realize what they did bad and make a better second one, okay. But if they go full like because they already started copying the animated one. If they do what the second animated movie did and was just immediately blow through everything with like 90 different montages and then kill off all the main characters, I'll be so mad.
Yeah.
I
Understand.
actually watched the movie like last weekend. It's okay. It's not. It's good for what it is.
If you're a fan of video games and Mortal Kombat, there's stuff to like. But if you're
of
just
course,
watching a
that's-
movie, you're like, no.
Oh, I wouldn't. I agree. It would have been a trash of a movie if I saw it and wasn't a huge Mortal Kombat fan and excited to see the characters. I think if I saw it on my own, I'd be like, "Oh, cool fight scenes," but like, what the fuck is this world about? Like,
Because they don't
understand
explain
that, you know?
anything. It's just
No,
like,
they don't
go.
explain any of the lore.
But
None
that's
of
the
it.
problem. That's the funny thing. They've explained none of the lore, but because I'm a fan, I was like, "Oh, that makes sense." It's like, but I didn't realize everyone else. They're like, "Oh no, that has no. I have no. What are they talking about?" And for me, I'm like, "Oh, you get what I'm saying?" Because
Yeah, I get it. Trust me.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Anyways, that's it. This episode's over because we just turned into Mortal Kombat, the best trilogy of all time is Street Fighter.
Yeah, the one with Chun-Li that
There's muscles, the
Smallville.
sauce and the muscles. Yeah, because it has Street Fighter 2, the anime, Street Fighter the movie, and then Street Fighter the
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li one.
Yeah, which had the same guy for the first Mortal Kombat movie as a different character. I'm not even gonna try to go
And
there.
thanks for watching,
Yeah, let's
guys.
not
Have
go
a
there.
nice day. Subscribe to all of them. Subscribe to Caps, Pizza Nova, Instagram. And I gotta go. All right. Bye.
OnlyFans.
Go to you again.
Oh, I remember this part of the script. Later.
Oh, I forgot to press record.